You'll know by now that I love dyeing old wedding dresses, and I don't want to put you off trying to dye your own. But in this video, I'm going to show you one that went horribly, horribly wrong, in the hope that you can learn from my mistake and not make it yourself. I decided to transform a beautiful old sample wedding dress with a beaded bodice and a lovely full skirt into a jumpsuit. Little did I know I was going to completely ruin this beautiful outfit by choosing the wrong coloured dye. Keep watching to find out whether I managed to rescue it or whether it was so ruined I just had to put this down to life experience. This was the original dress. It was an old wedding dress sample donated by a wedding dress shop for me to repurpose and photograph for the book Relovable, which I was writing at the time. There was just so much fabric. The first step was to cut the bodice off. Now, if this had been someone's actual dress, I would have unpicked it carefully. But it was for the photo shoot, I was in a hurry, so I just unceremoniously hacked away at it. I would never dream of being so slapdash had this actually been for a real bride on her actual real dress. However, a dress is a dress, and I do hate waste and I do hate ruining things. So this whole experience did actually bring me down a peg or two. I ended up with a separate beaded lace bodice, which was going to be destined for a beaded clutch bag. I thought I'd reuse the buttons on the cuffs. And then there was this huge skirt with such a lot of fabric. You know when you have a vision and it doesn't quite work out? Well, my vision was a bit of a celebration of Barbie. I'd just been to the cinema with my 12-year-old and we'd watched the film, Her Choice Not Mine, and actually I really loved it. Now, let me know what you think about pink. Personally, I like it on other people, but I don't tend to wear it myself. But in the film, the pink was absolutely fabulous. The next step was to sketch up an idea for the jumpsuit in this pink. So I went ahead and cut the pattern for both the front and the back, and I made lovely big blouson sleeves for the top with really wide cuffs. You can end up with quite a lot of odd-shaped pieces when you repurpose a wedding dress, so I sort of adapted my design to fit the fabric that I had. Then I got Alicia, the model, to come and try it on, and it looked amazing on her. Why? Why didn't I stop there? It looked wonderful in ivory, but no, I was determined to Barbify it and turn it pink. I already had some pink dye on the go for another project, so actually I threw the jumpsuit in the dye bath with the other thing. I used a product called Ritmel Synthetic, and the colour was called Super Pink. Not kidding, the clue's in the name. It looked so bad. But I just had to use it because the photo shoot was a few days later and I needed a picture of the jumpsuit for my book, and the book was being published in a few months' time. I thought the contrast cuffs would be really sweet, but honestly, they just weren't. The photographer and the model Alicia very politely and stoically tried their best to make it work. But even in this beautiful setting, it just looked terrible. Oh my goodness, when I saw the photographs. I just spent all of this time making and dyeing this jumpsuit, and I just ruined it with my choice of colour. So after the photo shoot, I fessed up to Andrea that the pink was just destroying my soul. And he said, "Don't worry, Caroline." He said, "Why don't I send you some of these through black and white?" And I thought, oh, that might be a good solution. And actually, when I saw them black and white, I thought, hey, actually, the grey kind of really works. Want to know what happened next? I did some test swatches and a new sketch, and I used the end of a grey dye bath that I had on the go from another wedding dress, which I was dyeing and intending to make into a jacket. Here's a sneak peek of the jacket. I'll show you more of this another time. So this time round, I did lots and lots of stirring as I dyed the jumpsuit. Lots of lifting out, checking slowly, cautiously. I kept it moving. I was just determined to get rid of the pink, but not to end up with yet another intense colour. I rinsed the jumpsuit thoroughly, not taking any chances, and I hung it out to dry with the jacket fabric. It was so lucky that I had this one last photo shoot, which actually was all for bags and cushions and things like that. It wasn't for garments, but I had that chance where there was the photographer and the venue, and I was able to give it another shot. And I thought, well, I can't use the pink jumpsuit. It really was terrible. So I've literally got nothing to lose. Then it was back to Burningfold Manor for the final shoot, hair and makeup to suit the new colour, and a very happy Alicia, who said that actually she would wear this jumpsuit out of an evening. The colour looked so good. You can see I also painted over the buttons a kind of mottled grey, dark grey, light grey mix. And I cut up some of the leftover fabric into a sort of a trim and then frayed the edges. So combined, these little features sort of made it all a bit less formal and a bit more, well, relaxed really. Now, remember that beaded bodice? Here's a little sneak peek of the matching clutch bag that I made from it. I will show you how I did it in another video. Lessons learned from this Barbie pink dye disaster. Number 1, don't dye it if you don't think it's absolutely necessary. Number 2, if you decide to dye it, then patch test. If you're dyeing it and it's not working, then just stop. Don't keep going thinking that it might get better. It probably won't. If it goes wrong, then just take a break. Step back, get some perspective, give yourself a breather, and then come back to it with fresh eyes. You might well have a completely new, better idea, but either way, you're much more likely to find a solution if you're not in the throes of panic at having created a disaster. Leave me a comment and let me know what you're dyeing at the moment and how it's going. I would love to find out. And do follow my guidelines if you are interested in dyeing your own wedding dress. I really hope this hasn't put you off, because this was the one disaster that I had in all of the garments that I tried dyeing. And as I say, I was quite slapdash about it. I took far too many shortcuts, like not patch testing, doing it too quickly, and just not checking the colour. But fortunately, I was able to rescue it and the outcome was delicious. Do subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next part in my adventure in repurposing old wedding dresses. And I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Enjoy your dyeing adventures, and I'll see you next time.